Denver has the best offense in basketball, so the dumbest thing they could do this summer is add more scoring. They got bounced for one reason: they couldn't get stops. So the question is simple: which cheap defender actually helps the best player alive win a title? Let me show you what this roster needs and name the real free agents who fit on a bargain. Here's the plan. First, the hole, and the defensive ranking makes it obvious. Then the archetype that fixes it. Then real free agents Denver could land with a minimum or the small taxpayer exception. The team facts are verified. The free agents I name come from the real world market as examples of the type, so availability can shift. Let's find the hole. This is Game is Culture. Quick thing first, if you like free agency broken down by fit and not just hype, subscribe. It's free and it helps a ton. Now the hole. The hole in the roster. The diagnosis writes itself. Denver finished number 1 in offense and dead last tier on defense, 21st in the league. And that gap is the whole story of their playoff loss. With Jokic orchestrating, they will always score. What sank them against Minnesota was the inability to get stops on the perimeter, to slow down ball handlers and wings when it mattered. This roster's single biggest need is defense, specifically on the wing. And the roster explains why. Jokic is a brilliant defensive mind, but not a rim-flying shot blocker. Jamal Murray is a minus defender. Aaron Gordon, their best wing stopper, missed half the year hurt. So when Gordon sits or struggles, Denver has very few players who can reliably guard an elite perimeter scorer. They have shooting and youth. What they lack is a proven switchable defender who makes life hard in a playoff series. And the Gordon injury is what made the weakness so glaring. When Aaron Gordon is healthy, he's one of the best defensive forwards in the league, the guy who takes the toughest wing assignment and frees Jokic to roam off the ball. He played just 36 games, so Denver's defense wasn't only thin, it was missing its single most important perimeter defender for half the season. Getting him back helps, but it also exposed how little is behind him, which is exactly why they need to add another proven stopper rather than count on health alone. The archetype that fits. So I scored the cheap end of the market on the two things Denver needs: perimeter defense and enough shooting to stay on the floor next to Jokic's offense. The sweet spot is the top right, a 3-and-D wing who guards the other team's best scorer and still knocks down an open corner 3 off Jokic's passing. Denver can't pay much, so the target is a savvy vet on a bargain, fit and toughness over name. Now the names, from the real-world free agent pool as examples of the type. For the taxpayer exception, a proven 3-and-D wing like Dorian Finney-Smith or Royce O'Neal, veterans who guard wings and hit the corner 3 without needing the ball, exactly the connector Denver lacked. They thrive next to a passing big like Jokic, and they're the kind of player who'll take less to chase a ring with the best player alive. And on minimum deals, hunt point-of-attack defense. A pesky perimeter stopper like Chris Dunn can hound opposing guards and take the toughest backcourt assignment off Murray, which is huge in a playoff series. Pair that with a tough, switchable wing like Caleb Martin, and suddenly Denver has the bodies to throw at scorers that they simply didn't have when Gordon was hurt. Cheap, hard-nosed defenders are exactly what this offense needs around it. Keep the price honest though. Denver's best tool is the taxpayer mid-level, only about $5.5 million, then minimum deals. So they're not signing a starting caliber wing for real money. They're hunting a veteran on the downslope who still defends, or a younger player betting on a contender's stage. The good news, those defenders are available every summer, and the chance to play with Jokic is a genuine recruiting edge. Quick halftime note, if you want the realistic version of free agency, stick around and subscribe while you're here. It's free. Now the trap. And here's the trap, spending that precious exception on another shooter or scorer when Denver already has the best offense in the league. They do not need more points, they need stops. So between a flashy scorer and a gritty defender who can't shoot quite as well, the defender wins easily because Jokic's offense covers for him while his defense fixes the actual flaw. Denver should chase toughness, not more buckets. And there's a development angle too, because Denver already has young defensive upside in-house. Peyton Watson is a genuinely promising two-way wing, and Christian Braun competes hard. A veteran stopper signed this summer wouldn't just fill minutes, he'd model the habits those young players need to take the next step. The best cheap defender raises the whole team's standard on that end, and Denver's young wings are ready to learn it. The verdict. So the plan is clear. Spend the taxpayer exception on a proven 3-and-D wing like Finney Smith or O'Neal. Add a point of attack pest like Chris Dunn on the minimum, and do not waste a cent on offense. The need is perimeter defense and playoff toughness. The names are cheap and the fit is exact. Get a healthy Gordon back, add these defenders, and Denver's one real flaw shrinks in a hurry. The beauty of this plan is that it costs almost nothing in assets, just smart use of the tools they already have, and yet it targets the precise weakness that ended their season. That's the kind of high leverage, low cost summer a tax strapped contender can only dream about, and for once, it's genuinely well within Denver's reach this particular offseason. And the recruiting pitch is about as good as it gets, even on the cheap. Denver can sell a defender on playing next to Nikola Jokic, the best passer in the sport, getting wide open looks and chasing a title as the missing piece. For a veteran 3-and-D wing on the back nine, being the defensive glue on a Jokic team is a dream landing spot worth a discount. The Nuggets can't offer much money, but they can offer the best basketball on earth. Where could I be wrong? On the names, exact availability shifts with the real market, so treat them as the right archetype rather than locks. And if Denver believes a healthy Aaron Gordon plus the natural growth of Watson and Braun is enough defense on its own, they might just spend the minimum on depth. But the playoff loss was loud. This team needs more proven defenders, and that's where every cheap dollar should go. So that's the board, a 3-and-D wing on the exception, a point of attack stopper on the minimum, and nothing spent on offense. Who would you target with Denver's limited money? And next video, the full roster construction scenarios. Tell me your pick below, and we are so close to 1,000 subs, so subscribe to stay up to date.